Sivaya Nama Tiruchitrambalam. We are continuing our discussion on Thiruppaatu. 7th Thirumurai. We are discussing the very first Thiruppadigam. In that, for today's thought process, Lord Shiva has given the third verse. Let's look at the verse. Mannae, maravaathey ninaikkinraen manathu unnai, ponney, thaaney, vayirammey, poruthunthi, minnaar, pennai, thenpaal, venney, nalloor, Arul, thuraiyul, annae, unakku, aalaay, allaen, enalaamae. In today's verse, our Nambi Aroorar is calling Lord Shiva as a king. Of course, we know he's our king, right? There's no doubt about it. Of course, Lord Shiva is our king. Can we call a king and a god as an equal caliber? Yes, we can, and that is given to us by Thirukkural. In Thirukkural, we are able to see verse number 388. Thiruvannalloor is also mentioning that God and king can be seen equal, provided both of them are protecting their citizens. So, here we are going to talk about two responsibilities of a king as well as of Lord Shiva. Let's look at the two responsibilities. What are they responsible for? One is called as Dushta Nigraham. The second one is called as Shreshta Paripalanam. When you say Dushta Nigraham, it means whenever we have enemies for the country, the defense power must be quite strong, and the king must save the country, save his people, and basically make sure that his land is protected from any intruders, thieves, or any kind of even animals, wild animals. So a king is responsible for protecting the citizens. The second one is he is also obligated to give the appropriate recommendations, and at the same time give the we call it as the give them the right kind of motivation for people who deserve. So deserving citizens must be rewarded properly. Probably that's the right word. So we are looking at who is the right citizen and we are rewarding them. So penalty and reward is what we are talking about over here. Dushta Nigraham means penalty. Shreshta Paripalanam means reward. Okay, it's applicable for a king. How about Lord Shiva? He's also doing the same. Now the next question we may ask is, do we mean to say that Lord Shiva is also having enemies? I thought he's a neutral person. Yes, he's a neutral person. He doesn't have any enemies and he doesn't consider anyone as enemies. So what is the real enmity that we are looking at over here? It is not external. It is not like I don't like a person or he doesn't like me. That is not the way we are looking at. Rather, the five senses that is within us, that is the biggest enemy for any human being. Imagine, you don't need to look up for any other enemy outside. Our eyes is one of our enemy, our nose is one of our enemy, our skin is another enemy, our ears is another enemy. The five organs that is there is pulling us in various directions with various pleasures and just making a lot of calamity in our life. So what happens is Lord Shiva is cleansing that. When he says enemy, it is basically the five sense organs that we are talking about. And then what does he do? Once a person is able to control the five sense organs, obviously we need to be rewarded appropriately, right? So he shows all his grace on us, and that is the best reward we are able to receive. So as a king is doing a penalty and a reward. The same thing Lord Shiva is also doing the same. That is what we call it as Dushta Nigraham and Shreshta Paripalanam. Okay. The next one is, if you look at it, he says, maravaathey ninaikkinraen manathu unnai, which means, for heaven's sake, I'm not going to forget you from now on. Does it mean that he has already forgotten for a while? The answer is no. He has never forgotten Lord Shiva, but what happened was, he forgot what happened in Kailash, the previous birth. For any human being, there are few blessings. We shouldn't be deviating those blessings. One blessing is our memory loss. That's a real good blessing. Imagine if we tend to remember all our birth details and everything, we will go mad. Last birth, who was my parents, who were my spouse, and who were my kids, and before that, what was I, before that, what was I? We can't imagine this one birth itself. We are not able to manage with one set of parents, one set of in-laws, and our husband or wife and kids. Imagine thinking about 2 or 3 births back. I'm sure we don't want that, right? Yes. So memory loss, the loss of this, which is basically hidden purposefully by Lord Shiva, is actually a blessing in disguise. The second one is the secret of birth. That is also a secret. Death is also a secret. Who are we going to be born to? That's a secret. Who are going to be born to us? That is also a secret. All these are kept secrets. If you look at it, all these are secrets. Try not to break it. Don't use our intelligence to break it, because if we break it unnecessarily, we will lose our peace of mind. So what happens is, here he says, I will never forget you. Why? I have forgotten what happened in Kailash for almost 16 years. At least from now on, I'm not going to forget. So this is like a vow that he's taking in front of Lord Shiva. The next line, if you look at it, the second statement says, ponney, manidane, vayirammey, poruthunthi, minnaar, pennai, thenpaal, nalloor, Arul, thuraiyul. These two lines or these two sentences are talking about how rich the river is. The river is called as Pennai, and this particular Pennai river is so rich that it is bringing all the the precious gems that it's possible, including diamonds, including ruby, including whatever we are able to see around us. It is just bringing all those. Gold is there in that river. Diamonds are there in that river. These are not joke. Even today, we are able to see there is a river called as ponney. Even today, gold is mixing in that water and coming out. But just that the processing is too expensive, so they have left it off. If not, I'm sure they would have, just finished the water anyways. That's how greedy we have become. So here they are talking about how graceful the river is, and at the same time how rich the place is. And then finally he addresses Lord Shiva as annae. Annae simply translates as mum. If you look at Lord Shiva in terms of his grace, obviously he has to be called as mum, right? Even a mum nowadays is expecting so many things from her kids. Even we do expect from our kids. But Lord Shiva, how many births he has been with us? Not even one single expectation he has. He has only one expectation, which is for us to achieve his lotus feet. But are we really doing that? No. And does he get angry for that? No as well. That is how patient he is. That is the grace of a mum. So what we have to do is pray Lord Shiva, at least from now on, he needs to give us the cleansed thought, just to pray only to him and not to get deviated or confused with what is happening around us. So that concludes verse number 3. I'll come back again with the next verse very soon. Until then, Sivaya Namah, Thiruchitrambalam.